frickin' Zerg scum!
Oh, what's happening, Legends? Real-time strategy games. Games such as Starcraft, Age of Empires, Command & Conquer. But what was the genre like before these major titles? Let's find out.
North and South is an action strategy game that was initially released for the Amiga and Atari ST that was ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1990 that's developed by Infogames and published by Kemco. The game features a map of the United States, separated into different states and territories, where the player moves army units to gain control of certain areas, consisting of infantry, cavalry, and artillery soldiers. Receiving an average reception upon its release, Computer Gaming World gave the game 1 star out of 5, and in 2011, Wirtulana Polaska ranked it as the 10th best Amiga game ever made. Check it out. So this is actually based off an offshoot of the Belgian comic book series that is based off the American Civil War that erupted in 1861 to 1864. I actually think this title is hilarious. Everything from the sprites, art and dialogue to the many parodies and national anthems when the player selects different languages that are supported throughout the game. There is the option to turn off the real-time strategy element, but screw that, the game becomes a freaking board game without it. There are also a few events. States that have train stations, the player must complete a side-scrolling mission through a fort to capture that state. Gives the game some variety, which I think is great. This title is definitely a 2-player game. Unfortunately, I'm a loser, so I'm just versing myself. Which yeah, it's kinda pointless, but nevertheless gives you guys a look at the gameplay. The platforming, yeah, it's not good. For some reason the jump button's said to B, so if you're like me and used to controls of, let's say, Super Mario Brothers, then you're gonna struggle. And in general, it just feels unco and rough to say the least. But hey, as I said, gives the player a little bit more variety of gameplay. It's a pretty basic concept. Wipe out all the enemies on screen and avoid obstacles like the water, trees and whatnot.
Overall, not too bad of a strategy game. I mean, they had to start somewhere. We'll give it a pass. Introducing one of the greatest RTS video games of all time. In the words of Jim Rayner, anytime you're ready.
Starcraft is a science fiction real-time strategy game. It's developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment that was originally released for the PC and later ported to the Nintendo 64 on the 13th of June 2000 for North America and 25th of May 2001 for Australia. The game is set in the 25th century AD and revolves around 3 intelligent species, the Terran, Zerg and Protoss, fighting for dominance to gain control of the Milky Way galaxy known as the Copperella Sector. Many journalists praise Starcraft to be one of the most important and greatest video games of all time, raising the standard for the RTS genre, and sold over 11 million copies by February 2009. Check it out. Here's the rundown. The player has a choice between 3 species, Zerg, Protoss and the Terran forces that each have unique advantages and disadvantages. Protoss units are typically more powerful, durable, but can cost a lot more minerals. The Zerg are a lot more weaker, however the player can build multiple forces using lava hatchlings, but can only build on certain areas of grounds. The Terran is kind of in the middle. Units can be relatively cheap, but don't last very long without upgraded features. The player typically begins with a few units that are used to collect the game's currency, gas and minerals, which are then used to build buildings, factories, armories, barracks, etc. All teams have the ability to build all sorts of strategic units. You'll find as the game goes on, you will be able to acquire stronger forces, such as battle cruisers, carriers, devourers and guardians, as well as armor, weapon and science upgrades. These can consist of storms, plagues, nuclear warheads, portals and upgraded unit strengths such as range and damage and overall effectiveness. There is a lot involved with this game and it definitely takes some skill and knowledge. Obviously this version uses a different control scheme. The player uses a thumbstick to control the cursor. It's a bit slower, but it works. I don't think the mouse peripheral is compatible, not 100% sure. This game also requires a 4MB RAM expansion pack. When it comes to the gameplay, there are some minor differences such as graphics, dialogue, animations, cinematics, soundtrack, unit selection, and the game's cheat code system. Oh man. You have to go find the cheat codes that have been randomly scattered throughout the game. It is bloody annoying.
Jesus Christ!
This is crazy. This mission is pretty basic. Got to capture 7 infested hives, playing as the Zerg species. Now, one thing this game does deliver is a full fleshed out story. I mean, it is brilliant. Yeah, kill them all. We'll be checking out the PC port soon, but next up is multiplayer.
This brings up so much nostalgia.
So the course, make it slow.
This may not look like much and is kind of pointless as both players can easily screen cheat, and to that I say, get yourself a double bunk bed, a large piece of cardboard, slide that in the middle and problem solved. Seriously though, this is at a time when dial-up internet was a thing. Yeah, you remember that? Couldn't even answer the phone whilst browsing. Of course broadband came into play around 2004, which broadened internet access across the world. Now, our family was pretty damn stingy and we didn't have an active phone line. Those were the days. Thanks Mum.
Now you will find that the game's frame rate will drop dramatically depending on how many enemies are on screen. I'm pretty sure you can break the game. Look at all the action. This is freaking hectic.
I'll be straight up, Protoss are the strongest. They have the ability to possess SCVs and drones, and with that, you can basically build a whole nother TIE army. It's pretty overpowering. You gotta admit, this is one solid port of the original game. There's actually 2 exclusive missions made just for the Nintendo 64 version. Be sure to check them out. Let's check out the remastered on the PC. Right, this is a 1v3. I'm a busy man, so that's right, we're gonna cheat. Just gonna top up on some resources and speed up building times. Yeah, that's a lot better. I must say, visually this looks 10 times better than the 64 port. And boy does it run smooth as butter. And holy crap, we've actually got unit animations. Just got ourselves a couple of nuclear warheads. These are dope. Let's finish off the video with a bit of a bang. In my opinion, Starcraft is the best real-time strategy game of all time, alongside of Age of Empires. The game remained one of the most popular online titles even after 10 years after its release, and increased Battle.net's player base over a whopping 800%. Receiving many awards, Blizzard released an expansion pack, Brood War, that was also met with critical acclaim and success, with a 95% aggregated score from Game Rankings, and received a sequel in 2010, Wings of Liberty. I give Starcraft a solid 9 out of 10.
Now we've only just begun when it comes to the real-time strategy genre, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next year as we check out Wings of Liberty, the Command & Conquer series, and Microsoft's Age of Empires. As always, I'm the Pizza Man, I'm out of here.